All right, so the name of this video is going to be heteronormativity. And I've dealt with this since the beginning of my life. It basically justifies a lot of behavior that I've dealt with that runs, in my life. Shout out to Lil Boosie, man. I stay listening to some Boosie. He got a song called My Pain Runs Deep. Sometimes it be like that. Motherfuckers start having seizures and everything. You can't handle your weed no more. You can't drink your liquor like you want to. You're being humbled or terrified by life. Terrorized by shit in life. You know what I'm saying? Just period. But, yeah. When you just deal with the bullshit, on a mental level, you just gotta get through your day and be all right with it. When I was a kid, I was dealing with heteronormativity, and I actually depreciated it because of certain situations about my life. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, one of these girls is going to try to probably kill one of my family members based off the nature of their existence with, what I'm saying, based off the nature of their life dealing with men and stuff. I'm like, their behavior is predictable. Anybody that say they from the ghetto, there are stigmas that come with that. Most of the time you got, domestic violence, abusive relationship, typical shit like this. I mean, it's very rare that you might see a very good situation in the ghetto. It's good and bad, but it'd be a lot of negative things that go on, and people have to, people justify it with a lot of ignorance and dysfunctional statements, ideas and stuff like that. So with all that being said, most people think they're building confidence and stuff like that. And, some people really just want to be cutthroat and do all this and that and third. I expect any of my family members to die because of heteronormativity, because I've seen the desperate moves that some of these people have made to survive this world. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. But then again, you can't be too sure. If a man that's big as fuck and stronger than me comes snatch me up and put me in a room and rape me against my own will, then that's that's just what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna have to eat that shit up, But as long as I survive, I'm good, So, and deal with the traumatizing after effect. That's why I like this whole idea of corrective rape. People are trying to justify, your brain. If a man has sex with you, your brain is gonna try to normalize the idea. That's what your body do. It fights for its existence. But, the first time I got penetrated by a man, I tried to make it an enjoyable experience and stuff like that, because that's naturally what your body is going to do with anything. So you have to learn how to, it teaches itself optimism. And I think that's a downfall with, having to deal with things, because a lot of people will be out here getting raped and robbed and shit, and you'll never know because of the way that they are responding. And it's not about having tough skin, it's about your natural reaction to things. People are gonna lie. People will say, well, I didn't do this or I didn't do that. You just gonna have to come to your own defense. Like I said, I grew up around certain people. I study people, and I'm like, I listen to rap music all day, and I'm like, niggas really wanna, niggas really can make money off this mentality. So it can become an addictive lifestyle, being a hood nigga, being in the streets, or just being a man, period. I think when you are a male, there's different avenues you can take. The solidity of, just being, I guess, not just a male, but a real man or a real male, you basically don't want to decharacterize yourself, devalue yourself, depreciate yourself. You want to have good character, but you also want to show that you can defend your family in ways, in different ways. And I think this whole idea of me getting raped and people wanting me to have explaining the concept of submission after being penetrated by a male, it really is a humiliating thing, because at the end of the day, it really makes no sense. They're like, you better do more push-ups or this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? The point of the matter is, I'm not sitting here trying to, box with no man and shit like that, because I don't think that, just based off the fate of my life, that ain't the type of reputation I have to have. But if you really want to be valued as a lesbian, you must build this type of reputation. And from my understanding, you know what I'm saying, just certain places you go, people will respect you for doing shit like this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, at the end of the day, it just depends on how your life setup is. You know what I'm saying? There are contradictions in a lot of things, but you just gotta win through the bullshit and find out what's the secured identity of everything or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Of everything you going through. That's what people are looking for. Confidence. They're looking for, me being mentally stagnant and, saying that I've had basically people um telling people that sexuality is something that I'm scared of because I got introduced to it in a very vulnerable way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, at the end of the day, I can tell that it has given me, say a sense of tough skin, but I ain't really no tough person. I gotta, I do what I have to do. I want to be mature. I go to counseling, and people just, I'm just tired of when I was a kid, I'm like, all these women really want to prove to a man that they'll defend their families. That's the point they're trying to make. But I'm like, what is your intent? Your intent is not to prove that you can defend the family. Your intent is to prove that you can commit homicide and you really want to be a street thug. That's the difference. It's a difference between actually, valuing family and wanting to be a street thug, and live that typical role out. You know what I'm saying? As far as a man and a woman is concerned, that's why I'm concerned about the mentality of these women, because I'm like, some of these women really want to, have been toxic for me. I've seen women with such a feminine nature, and it's very toxic for me. And I'm like, I seriously grew up a certain way around certain men, and I really think about people personalities too much. And I'm like, they got me feeling like I'm feminine, and I'm like, it's I'm like, I need to be suing manhood for that shit, because that's exactly what happened. Motherfuckers was sitting there teaching me concepts when certain things happen to me. It's just like getting punched in the face of somebody calling you the inferior in the situation. Well, you better punch back, or this, that, and the third. So that's what people were teaching me. Oh, guy used to be like, I'm gonna give her a disadvantage. See what we can do with that. I think the point, like, if you're a boxer, that's probably what they're trying to prove. Let's prove that she is being the underdog. Let's prove that the underdog making win. Look at how many punches she got in though. That's how it be. So at the end of the day, when everybody is turned against you and you feeling overwhelmed by all these people, can you still fight? Some people will respect that. Some people will look down on you and be like, nah, you just a goddamn weak-minded motherfucker. But some people give you your props. It all depends on how you look at it. I mean, like I've said, I've got people that have done things to me, and I've just felt like the situation was unbearable. And I'm like, I am trying to justify, the fact that, heterosexualism exists, and I'm trying to figure out exactly why some of these women, so I got people with flamboyant personalities ringing in my head just saying, I really embrace my feeling. Really am happy-go-lucky. I was never this way or that way, da, 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 da. And I'm like, it's not about that with me. I'm like, I grew up around a certain nature of human existence. And I'm like, I definitely can tell that people are sitting here trying to play mind games when you grow up. People were telling me I had a lustful nature. I'm like, nah, I just felt horny. It's a different tone to the word. You see what I'm saying? It's a different tone. It's a difference between being lustful and, perverse and being horny. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different tone. When you horny, it's just you want to make love and have sex with somebody that you love. When you lustful, it's just a word that really just, describes my damn stepdad. I'm like, either way it go, I was telling my sister, I get butt ass naked in the room, I don't feel comfortable. I feel violated. That's not normal. There are some people that haven't formed that paradigm. There are people, when you're a kid and you get butt naked around your mom or your dad, you're supposed to feel innocent. But it just depends on the situation. Like I said, I've been in situations where the paradigm, you know what I'm saying, everything, I felt violated and sexual and stuff like that. And I'm like, a lot of people have tried to use that against me, and I'm like, no, I just got them experience. My brain was trying to make a positive feeling out of the experience. And in reality, I really just stressed over it because it wasn't normal behavior to me. So I've seen a lot of women become emasculated based off, I've seen a lot of women that are masculine that I've dealt with, and they think that they're butch, and I'm like, it just depends on where you come from. So I don't know. Some of these women are toxic for me. I'm one of those people. I'm an intellect. I need a feminine detox. You know, there are women that I view as a woman, as masculine, and I'm like, it's very toxic for me. Because I had somebody tell me I had a seizure because of your personality. I think they were just joking, but I mean, it don't matter. But I've got somebody at my job that's really annoying. I'm like, they think they feminine, but they really come out very attitudish, and their personality is very masculine to me. You know what I'm saying? When you deal with certain things, it's a certain essence that people have. Some people come out trashy and some people have class. You know what I'm saying? There are certain women, they have class with their sense of masculinity. That's the difference. I think it's a difference. Trashy versus classy. And you can give your input on people and let them know, but some people, you gotta leave some people where they at. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is. Some people are built a certain way, and I'm like, that's just how they want to be. I'm like, the motherfuckers be like, I'm muscle. I'm like, you really want to be with this dude, and he wants you to prove to him that you can kill somebody. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm like, all these damn Geechee people that made life hard for me. I just want to go downtown and get me some American deli. Why I can't just do that? Because everybody want to make life hard for other people because we're all supposed to be disdainful, narcissist, and all that shit, narcissistic and all that shit. I'm supposed to be able to go home and go downtown and eat, but now I got to worry about they keep trying to keep up tension between me and men and shit. I don't give a fuck about these niggas. These niggas don't give a fuck about me. We going about our day. These niggas feed y'all dick and y'all going about y'all day. But that's why I can't stand certain people got messed up personalities and they like that. They petty. They do just off the wall shit like that. Because when I was a kid, I used to, be like, man, the men in my life, I don't really want to be with a man. I done my part. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, got penetrated by a man. I don't want to be with a man. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't convince me otherwise. They try to give me a heterosexual identity, but I'm like, and I understand that there were men that actually had struggles, but I'm like, they also let their struggles turn them into, concepts that really are against the law or against, human nature. I never agreed with, they sat there. It's just like the setup of my life. Somebody can, if there's a legal age of Tinder, a grown man can have sex with you and tell you it's normal when you're a kid and you teach a child some shit like that. That's why they think certain people from certain areas are prostitutes and stuff, because you gotta. This is why, my mom believes in God and stuff, because sometimes you gotta pray things away. That's the only thing we learn besides, other religions. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, in the reverse psychological detox, I would be a Muslim man. And I'm like, I would sit here and try to remember a couple of, what they call Muslim prayers, by heart. But I'm like, in essence, I still be submitting. But I'm like, I would sit there and download me a goddamn, what's it called? Quran, and actually repeat that shit. And I'm like, I wonder, can a woman get there? I wonder, is there a woman that actually knows the whole Quran by heart? I'm like, I would do that shit, because at the end of the day, I'm like, that shit is a detox me. They speak in a certain language, Hebrew, whatever the fuck they speak. You know what I'm saying? Arabic and all that shit. But yeah, it's just a detox for your mind. Just like people that speak in tongues. I think, Patois is a language that people speak, and I think that's exactly what they're saying. We don't speak Patois, so it's just people viewing other people's essences as a detox. So with all that being said, I don't blame people for using their intellectual capacity to plot on other people's downfall. But, sometimes in life you got to stress, and I just want people to know that there are a lot of people out here that do actually stress, over the right things. And at the end of the day, don't judge them for it. There are people that want to be petty. If you're a woman that has sex with men and you got a family, I don't know why you're at work. But it be like that. Some niggas just be like, man, I done knocked that hoe off, but I done fucked her. Go ahead and put her in there and let her be a manager or something. Because that's how a nigga do. A nigga build a building, right? be a construction worker and be like, I got all these hoes, just throw them all in there. Either you can, if I come in and I fire you, move. You ain't no physical threat to me. That's how it be. That's how it be. As a man, that's why I'm like, being a female ain't did shit for me, because I'm like, a lot of these men got submission. But it's okay, because as long as the man is respectable and he actually do have a sense of discipline about himself, it's understandable. It's respect. But they got to understand also, that there may be a stigma on the fact that I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? If I get in shape, I'm just a woman in shape. A lot of men appreciate that. But I got to, I don't know. It just depends. Like I said, I'm sitting here viewing myself as having an inferiority complex to men. And I'm like, I'm sitting here classifying and, masculinity and femininity when it comes to people personalities and everything, and I have to wing and see what I want. So I guess I have to talk a woman if I find her attractive, or not just sexually but physically attractive or something like that. I would just have to talk her into having a submissive tone with me. That's the reverse psychological detox that I need. So yeah. I mean, it's okay to use reverse psychology. If you have to, you have to. If you not, if somebody naturally likes you, they naturally likes you. But yeah, y'all check out McDonald's and Walmart. I actually like the whole idea of it, because I remember when they started, putting franchises, restaurants, food restaurants together, Taco Bell, KFC, and all that. I thought that it looked very cute to do that, because in reality, you need that change. You start tired of seeing the same shit over and over again. Being a leader, like I said, I don't know, saying, between the leadership role of a man and a woman, and understanding, heteronormativity, that's something that I have to study in order to be a successful leader. So that's something that I want to do, and I got to get my practice in, and that's what I'm doing, working at these jobs. And I'm having to learn to deal with people and their personalities, because I'm viewing somebody at my job as a personality, that I am not receptive of, and I'm like, I don't understand why. So with all that being said, it's all about how people take you. That's why you got to learn how to be social and stuff. People think something wrong with you. Like I said, I got people in my life that ring in my head. When I was a kid, I had a girl pretend to be a pimp, because there really was. I had a cousin named Dez. I thought he was my cousin, but I guess he was speaking with lingo, and he was a crip. He was sitting there, having full-blown sex with me, spreading rumors saying that I was a submissive. And I'm like, I don't blame him for doing that, because I'm like, he just wanted to develop a superiority complex. I mean, the situation just kind of happened. I've been in a lot of, fucked up situations, and I'm like, I would never know, how those people are doing, or how, I'll never know how it affect my life. I'm like, I really, stay in counseling because of, just dealing with it on a mental level. I feel ashamed of myself. It's humiliating, and that's not how you're supposed to feel. And not anybody that's in a heterosexual bond will tell you that. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't feel violated. I feel loved. It's graceful. You know what I'm saying? It's peaceful. That's how a real heterosexual bond is formed. And I'm like, I ain't trying to knock niggas or bitches. I'm just trying to say, like, I've contributed to heterosexualism. So, that's the best I can do. I be wondering, like I said, with all these different paradigms, and I see women, I'm like, I wonder if she had sex with somebody to be here. I wonder shit like that, and it's fucked up that we have these types of paradigms out here, but you got to get to know people. Get to know people. Study to show yourself approved. Some people do, I'm like, a real heterosexual bond, you won't feel like a object. So, I don't know. Because I've got a lot of dysfunctional moments in my life, and it's just really a wake-up call. Just being sensitive nature. I had people suck men dick and blow their breath in my face. All that shit is like a lawsuit. I'm like, man, I'm like, I gotta appreciate shit like that. Cause it mean I'm doing something right. When somebody get to doing petty shit like that, it just mean they want something you got. whether it's your life or they fighting. There are people that wanted me to respect heterosexualism. I don't. I feel like people are acting the way they are on purpose, but I know they're not. I've been working in these fast food restaurants. Anybody can just come in and be like, get the fuck out. And I've seen people form buns over me and be like, I'm like, I knew he was going to do that. Sit there and spread rumors about me. I'm like, I'm a black woman with no kids. I'm going to use her female identity against her. I'm going to chump her off because this is promoting the idea of my business. Everybody know that's the girl I chunked off. It happened naturally. But like I said, it's all about fate. Some of these goddamn women, what's gonna happen is these men think they got a secure identity. Don't get me wrong, if you got loyalty for over 5 to 10 years, and you got a woman, you got women in your life that really, you know what I'm saying, have been loyal to you based off having sex with you and all that stuff, then you might have a secured identity. You might need to take pride in your identity as a whole, your penis and everything. Cause I'm like, it's so many different psychological avenues that human beings can go up and down depending on the type of situation that they're put in. I'm like, motherfuckers will shit. I'm like, all it takes is that one breaking moment where a bitch can lose her mind, you lose your life because she want to turn on you because you ain't giving her no dick no more or something like that, and she really appreciated you. I don't know, this heteronormativity is something that I have to study. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I grew up and people really was trying to view me as a lustful person after experiencing, you know what I'm saying, sex with a man. And I'm like, that shit really is an emotional, fucked up situation for me too. I'm like, nah, fuck all that shit. Nah, that ain't what it was. It's more just like it's a natural reaction. Like I said, my family and me and my little sisters come from dysfunction, and everybody was sitting there teaching us that it was normal. You could teach your mind something, and you know what I'm saying? The challenge is to unteach it. When I was a kid, I had a lot of people that was, having sex with me against my own will, and wasn't nothing I can do about that. All that stuff ringing in my head is very disheartening. I just have to focus my mind and read, and then I can do about the fact that, you know what I'm saying, I got folded like that. But that's what I be wondering as far as heteronormity is concerned. I'm like, I wonder, is these women out here having sex with men for rank? Some of these men have normalized that is what heteronormity is. That's why I have to be careful. I actually took that hotline number down for the human trafficking hotline. I actually, if, you know what I'm saying, if push come to shove, if I feel like somebody is in that type of situation, I would invest. Care about the safety and concern of other women. But it just depends on the nature of your heart. Like I said, you can't be forcing people to do shit. I'm like, I've been raped several times, and I'm like, they doing all this stuff because they want people to feel sorry for me so that I can stress about that. They want to break my pride as a human being. I got people that's like that. Go ahead. I just robbed the bank for 20 million. Give that nigga 10 million to rape that little dyke over there and let her know that she ain't a threat to heteronormity. Because we think it's normal. People want to play mind games until somebody end up missing. I was never defenseless. So for y'all that's cheating and shit and doing all this extra shit because y'all on that straight shit, that's cool and dandy. But eventually one day you're going to leave this earth just like me. So it is what it is.